Now, a Hutch's weather update with meteorologist Hutch Johnson.
And good Monday night. I am Mark Kidder in for Hutch Johnson, who is still overseas. He is still enjoying his trip in Oslo. But tonight, closer to home, we have some severe weather to talk about. Severe thunderstorm watch currently in effect, and some severe thunderstorm warnings also in effect. Let's get right over to the radar so we can track these storms as they march across east central North Dakota, already dropping some hail over 1 inch in diameter. And first of all, severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 1 a.m. Central Time. Potential for 2 inch size hail, 75-mile-per-hour winds with these storms in certain areas. Also in central South Dakota, severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 11 p.m. Central Time, with about the same characteristics for these storms located there. Okay, let's get right in on the action. Severe thunderstorm warning currently in effect for areas just south of Jamestown, portions of Stutsman County. And let's stop the loop so we can get an eye on this storm. Considerable threat tag with this, with the 1 inch sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind. Cities including Gackle, Montpelier, Judd, Sydney, Alfred, and Millerton. This is in effect for another half an hour as the storm moves to the southeast, east southeast at around 25 miles per hour. And Jamestown just missing out on that storm as we move up a little bit closer to the Mayville radar. East of Devil's Lake over in the Lakota area. Some lightning happening right in Lakota. Just happen to mention them. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 8:45 p.m. 2.5 inch size hail estimated from the radar and 60-mile-per-hour wind. Lakota, Tolna, and Mapes in the path of that warning. And on the other side of it, near Mackville, severe thunderstorm warning till 8:45 p.m. Central Time, with 1 inch size hail estimated there. Mackville, Red Willow Lake, Pekin, and Clawton in the path of that storm. And putting that into motion, we'll take a look at where those storms are headed, track them as they continue marching to the east. Again, the storm that was west of Binford dropping over 1 inch sized hail. And with this, primarily wind and hail threat this evening. So far, have not seen any reports or any indicators of any spin-ups for the potential for tornado activity. But throughout the evening here, we have had the severe thunderstorm watch develop, and then the atmosphere decided to take off, and big old storms. In fact, let's take a pause from the radar and take a look at some of the imagery from the North Dakota Department of Transportation. The NDOT putting out these photos. This is a photo from New Rockford. Check out the storms off to the east southeast. It's Highway 281 in the foreground here. Also from one of the other cameras looking to the northeast, you can see the northern parts of those storms over toward Mackville. And yeah, good stuff off of the Bowden camera near US 52. You can see the development off in the distance here. Another view from Bowden, looking a little bit more to the east than 52 there, with the storms off in the distance. And then look at this, near Gackle, got the rain and a little bit of a lowering there with the mesocyclone rolling over ahead there. And not too long ago, near North Dakota Highway 46, near Valley City on I-94, you can see some showers in the distance, and the big bright illuminated area, well, that's the edge of the storm as the sun starts going down in the distance. And even seen from Bismarck, this is the Centennial Road overpass over I-94, looking to the east-southeast. Plenty of thunderstorm development and those cumulonimbus on the horizon. Another view from the same interchange. Look at the energy that is erupting in the distance. Looks fantastic. A beautiful sight, but of course, for those underneath, always hoping that there's no hail and just some rain, right? Another view, this one is from I-94 and Main Avenue on the Mandan side of the river. In the foreground, where you see my indicator, my cursor, there's the train bridge, the BNSF rail bridge over the Missouri River, and then the massive plumes off in the distance. Even here in Denoff on Highway 200, looking off to the east, look at that supercell, the overshooting top, just peeking out. A fantastic look at that anvil off into the distance, and another look at Denoff. This one, of course, looking a little bit closer to the road, but you still get an idea of that massive development off in the distance. All right, fantastic look on the old North Dakota Department of Transportation webcam. So thanks for NDDOT for sharing those online for us. Again, severe thunderstorms off in the distance of west of Fargo here in the south of Jamestown. Gackle just getting hit by this storm. In fact, over top here, Judd in the path of this. If it holds together, Litchville, Lemoore, Cullum, even Wishick getting in on the action. Napoleon just finished with a rain shower not too long ago. Valley City, Tower City getting some rain showers and thunderstorms. Buffalo about to get a little shower. Page, you can see some development here and some heavier rain showers up through Annetta to the west of Northwood. And the storm that was over Macville that was severe, the warning has now been canceled. And so those of you in Macville, you can relax at least a little bit. An intense storm over Highway 1 and 15. So just be careful if you are out and about headed toward that direction. Tulna, some rain, and that is mostly in the clear. But Lakota, you're about to get clipped. Michigan, Niagara, watch out on Highway 2. If you know anybody who's traveling on Highway 2 and they don't have the Hutch's Weather app, you probably want to let them know that if they don't already see it, there's a pretty strong storm that is headed toward them. You probably want to let them know. All right. Looking at the loop again, I'll back this out so you can track some of these storms. Even turn the lightning data off so you can see the thunderstorms themselves as the storms continue to move. The northern storms have a northeasterly track, and then the other storms south of I-94 now have a southeasterly track. Right, new warning just issued for the Wishick area. So if you are out making sausage right now, be careful. A brand new severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for the next 52 minutes, which means 9:15 Central Time. Towns included in the warning are Wishick, Lair, Bernstead, and the Beaver Lake State Park. That warning in effect 9:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time. This storm moving at 16 miles per hour. So not a whole lot of motion there. Around 1-inch diameter hail indicated by the Doppler radar, and 60 mile per hour wind gusts can be expected with the storm as it continues moving to the east-southeast. Again, a lot of lightning associated with this. And look at that. Look at the comments. Nathan, what's up? Hello. Thank you for joining us, watching there. I'll get you that outlook here in just a little bit. Ricky, hello. Amber, watching from Jamestown. Jamestown now officially in the clear. Look at that. 12 lightning strikes. Okay, more than 12. All right, there were 24 just recently in the Jamestown area, and some rain showers, but you can see how close that it came to town. Even the on-ramps and off-ramps indicated. In fact, for those of you in Jamestown, very curious about what's going on there. Look at this little rain shower, move on through, and then that's pretty much it right there. 30 strikes of lightning in the area. Right now, the areas of concern off to the south with potential for 2-inch or almost 3-inch hail near Montpelier, headed toward Dickey, Judd, again, Gackle, almost done with the storm. Judd just seeing the beginning of this as it heads toward Edgeley, Lemoore, Cullum, as this warning may get extended, especially with the intensity of that storm. And just in this area where we're looking, over 475 lightning strikes. And so you can be guaranteed that they are some very strong storms, even headed into northern areas of South Dakota near Eureka, Pollock, Harriet, Selby, and Bodle. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for those areas. All right, Bryant has a question. What time for Crookston? Moving west, Bagley around Highway 2. So the storms right now, as they are moving off, there may be a clear spot for the Crookston and Highway 2 area, but you can expect those rolling through probably between, I mean, with the slow motion here, really between 10 and midnight is a high possibility for that. So we will keep up to date on that. Let's see here. Nathan wanted to see the forecast, so let's take a look at the extended forecast real quick. We'll come back to the severe weather coverage as we continue doing that on Hutch's Weather, which is what Hutch is known for, has been known for decades, and fantastic to have been working with Hutch since the year 2000 and doing this late nights, many late nights covering severe weather across western North Dakota, central North Dakota, and even the areas right here of eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota. We've been having some fun doing this over the years, getting to see some cool weather events, and unfortunately, along with the cool weather events comes some not good stuff like the hail and the tornadoes. But happy to be here and let you know what's going on. So again, what's going on with the old forecast for tomorrow? The wind picks up. Nice day around 87, but the wind picks up around 35 miles per hour in the afternoon. Tuesday night remaining breezy, 62, wind gusting to 30. Wednesday, 84 or so, wind still gusting to 30, but then Wednesday night calming down, 53. The wind blustery 10 to 15 miles per hour, but then after midnight will calm down. Thursday, there's your pick of the week, 82, sunny sky, calm wind for the most part, a little breeze in the morning. Friday, 86, wind picks up to around 5 to 15. Then we get into a little bit more active pattern once again, some showers and thunderstorms Friday night, chance of showers Saturday, chance of showers and thunderstorms Saturday night, and Sunday night, and Monday. That's why you have the thunderstorm icons all the way through the rest of the forecast period from Friday night and on, because it is a possibility, and we will keep our eyes on that. Hutch will be back, and he'll be able to give you the more in-depth look at all of the forecasting that, of course, only Hutch can. Wanted to point out the Fargo average is now 79 for the high, which means that it's going down. It's getting colder and one step closer to winter, which is unfortunate, unless you're one of those individuals who like the colder weather. So you're in for that. Records still possible of hitting 100 degrees or being as cold as freezing. Those are the records for Fargo for tomorrow officially. So there is your extended outlook. Bryant, appreciate you with the comment there on the coverage. And Nathan, there's your forecast as well. All right. Jane, thank you for the comment. Watching from Minto. Looking at your westerly porch. Do you see anything happening out there? Anything crazy right now? And Sarah asking about Baudette. There is a possibility for some showers and thunderstorms overnight, so we will continue tracking the storms. Let's go right back to the radar, as this warning has been extended to include Michigan and out to Niagara, as this storm now is potentially capable of nearly 2-inch sized diameter hail. And there you go, tracking the storm out. Michigan, Petersburg, and Inkster by 9:21 p.m. You can expect that storm to continue headed toward your direction. And as of the last half an hour, no signs of slowing down, even zooming in a little bit closer between Michigan and Lakota. You can see the purples showing through, and the lightning strikes, meaning that hail core still continuing there. Macville, that strong thunderstorm just off to your northeast. And Northwood may get some rain here in the next little bit. All right. Continuing, there's Grand Forks and Crookston. As you can see, those storms look to generally be tracking northeast, east northeast anyway. And so, in the time being, those will continue to evade the Grand Forks Crookston corridor, but some showers and thunderstorms. And we will have to watch the development. I'm circling it right here in the middle. We'll have to watch the development still in this area because there are some rain showers occurring, a couple rumbles of embedded thunder, but those will continue moving off to the east as well. Got ourselves a funky severe thunderstorm warning polygon that has popped up here, targeting Edgeley and Lemoore, just to the south of Montpelier, so watch out for that. That warning in effect until 9:30 p.m. Central Time. Radar is indicating 2-inch size diameter hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. Edgeley, Adrian, Dickey, Nortonville, and Millerton in the path of this storm. Let's track that up. No major cities in the path that the program is picking up anyway, but look at the hail core in this, just off of Highway 281. There's some craziness happening there. Still to the south of Gackle and to the west of Judd as this thunderstorm continues moving off to the east-southeast, and that one also severe and indicating over 1-inch size diameter hail. The live scan coming in and showing us the latest update there. And then this severe thunderstorm that is again headed toward Wishick, another pretty large hail core. Let's zoom on in as Wishick is about to get the brunt of this storm. We will have to continue keeping our eyes on this storm as over 1-inch size diameter hail estimated by the radar. And the storm's only moving at 16 miles per hour. So you can have some localized flooding. Potentially not as bad as last night in Rugby, where over 8 inches of rain fell throughout the overnight hours, but have to watch for some localized flooding and some flash flooding. Baudette, again, having a chance of some showers and thunderstorms overnight. But as the sun goes down, some of that energy will wane and be used up as the storms continue moving off to the east. Let's see, Nancy charging the phone. Fantastic. Always a good idea to keep your resources at your fingertips. Keep the phone charged, batteries in the flashlight, first aid kit nearby, just in case. Always good to have a first aid kit, a general first aid kit. You can get some pretty good ones now for less than $200 that fold out and have everything labeled for you. If you have burns, if you have cuts, if you have it's amazing. So just a little research there and a cheap plug for getting a first aid kit. Even good to have one of those in your car. Let's see. Justin saying good view from the UND Department of Atmospheric Sciences looking west. They have a fantastic webcam, and I will do my best to pull that up here pretty quick as we have a moment to do so. And a shout out to UND, the ATSI program. Having been through a good portion of it myself. Fantastic there. Ryan saying the weather radio just went off. About to get some weather. Absolutely. Storms miss Lisbon every time, huh? Well, hopefully it misses, but as of right now, looking at it, may get some rain. So technically not a miss, I guess, if you want to go that far, technically. All right. What other comments? Yeah, Logan saying a little weaker before it even hits Grand Forks. Jane, the update from Minto, just some clouds moving on in. So fantastic news there that they're just some regular old garden variety clouds at the moment. And yeah, just checking through those comments. Okay. Let me go over here. Stand by. Watch the radar for a second. I'm going to pull up the UND ATSI camera. We'll give them another shout out and another fantastic view looking off to the west. And just for you, our faithful Hutch's Weather viewers, got it in 4K. We're only broadcasting in 1080p, but bam, there it is. There's the 4K footage looking over 42nd Street and the ASOS waving in the wind and the sun setting over the former Loafing Jug. Gorgeous view. You can even see some of the striations from the upper levels of the atmosphere. And yeah, love it. UND Aerospace, big thanks to them for putting this live feed up so then we can take a look at it as we're checking the storms and tracking the storms across eastern North Dakota. Just take it in. Here's your moment of zen. All right, let's get back to the radar. That's what we're doing here tonight. And again, appreciate you being here. And there's even, I know you can't see it now that I switched it, but a few shots of lightning, bolts of lightning happening off in the distance. Okay, back to the forecast. The new severe thunderstorm warning extended to include Cullum until 9:30. Storm moving to the east-southeast at 23 miles per hour. So as expected, including Edgeley for that other warning, but filling in the polygons as this line of storms continues moving to the southeast. Again, 23 miles per hour. Let's move over into the manual tracking mode. I'm going to draw an approximation here, and we're going 25 miles per hour. There's a list of cities for you, including Lair, Fredonia, Marion, Dickey, Cullum, Edgeley, Venturia, Ashley, Berlin, and Lemoore. All of those potentially in the path of the rain and or severe thunderstorms as they move to the east-southeast around 25 miles per hour. Moving back to the north, check on this severe thunderstorm. And Pete, a golf ball sized hail lasting around 10 minutes with a ½ inch of rain. That is near Hammer in Nelson County. Big gust of wind before hail and then a dead calm. Storm ended at the time of the report, which was called in at 8:05 p.m. Central Time. So yeah, you can tell that is a strong storm continuing to move to the east-northeast past Michigan, coming into Michigan across Highway 2 right now and toward Niagara. Fordville, you could be in the path of this as well, so you keep your eyes to the skies to the southwest. Gilby, if it decides to take a right turn, and Ardagh, Minto, there is that potential that you'll be in the path of this storm as it continues moving to the east-northeast. Petersburg, stand by, because you may be getting some of that heavy hail as well. Hopefully not, but also 75-mile-per-hour wind and near 2-inch hail expected with this. Justin, fantastic checking out the storms. Appreciate that. Katie Erskine McIntosh, will it hit? Well, there is a good possibility. Again, as these showers and thunderstorms are continuing to move to the east as an overall line, but also heading south. So just stick with us here. Hutch's Weather, of course, the Hutch's Weather app. And you can see the alerts pop up when the warning polygons are issued. It'll pop up right on your phone, and it's fantastic. Easy to use as well. And in my opinion, the best weather app that is out there. Side note, Ryan saying getting the severe weather spotter class done and doing it 12 years old. You loved it. Yeah. It's been a minute since I've been through one of the National Weather Service Skywarn classes myself, but lots of great information, and a shout out to Greg Gust at the Grand Forks National Weather Service office, and retired meteorologist, head forecaster and meteorologist J.P. Martin at the Bismarck National Weather Service office for putting on those classes between the Bismarck and Grand Forks offices, because they're such a wealth of knowledge, weather and information, and it is fantastic. If you ever get a chance, you see those classes every spring. Just try and spend some time, hour and a half to 3 hours of in the evening, and you're able to learn a whole lot about severe weather. And then when you look out that window and you go, "What is that?" You have a little bit better understanding of what you're looking at, and so that is again a possibility, and something that I would definitely recommend that you check out. All right, let's cut back here. Taking a look at UND, the Atmospheric Science Program webcam again off to the west. Seeing a little mammatus here on the anvil as it's moving in, some lightning off in the distance, and considering that these storms are still a ways out. If you're driving on Highway 2 off to the west to get to Larimore, you're talking a couple minutes, right? Off to Lakota and Petersburg, 40 minutes. So a nice light show off to the west, and even a strong storm still over Macville. So went dark there. So let's go back to the radar again. As I'm pointing out, the storms coming toward Larimore here with some rain and heavy embedded uh, downpours, some hail. Less than an inch is what the radar is indicating at the moment. And so just keep an eye on it. Again, Petersburg into the stronger portion of the storm now, but most of the hail core indicating to the north and west of Michigan right now, just crossed over Highway 2. So again, if you know people driving on Highway 2, maybe let them know, if they're heading west or east from Devil's Lake, let them know that there's a pretty big storm there, and they might want to wait a little bit. Little storm trying to pop up north of Warren, right over Argyle. Watch out. Heavy downpour there. Heading to the south again, these rain showers moving in on Fargo, Page, Towers City, even Castleton getting in the shower activity. Maybe 3 sprinkles in Kindred. Litchfield getting some sprinkles as well, and the stronger activity to the south, right over Wishick right now, and moving into town. The hail core, Edgeley getting some of the stronger returns just on your doorstep. In fact, zooming in a little bit, Judd is in the thick of it at the moment, as these storms continue to the east southeast at around 25 miles per hour. Highway 13 at the crossroads there. 281 if you're driving through this section south of Jamestown, and you know somebody in that area, again, let them know. Tell them to download the Hutch's Weather app, because then they'd be aware of this severe thunderstorm warning continuing until 9:30 p.m. Central Time with this strong hail. And the other storm here, clicking on the click, click, click. There we go. All right. Also 9:30 is the latest scan updates, continuing 23 miles per hour. Again, calm Judd, Fredonia, Alfred in the path of these storms for that warning. And Wishick and Lair in the path and right on top of you with estimated 1-inch size diameter hail over the top of Wishick. Look at this storm over the top of Wishick, and Lair looks to miss out on a lot of this, but Wishick, you could have some strong damage over this 1.25-inch sized hail estimated from the Doppler radar. And Eureka, potential for some severe weather right outside your city limits, with the storm moving to the northeast, 22 miles per hour. It's something we haven't done for a little bit. Let's put this storm and all of them in motion so you can see where they're headed. Missy's saying she's in for a good storm. Bring it on. Always nice to have Lots of rumbles of thunder and good downpours. Check it out. But of course, we don't want the hail. We don't want the damage. So here's an interesting uh, feature to pick out here. We are looking at storms moving off to the northeast here, and then these storms are moving off to the southeast. And so you can guarantee this area near Ellendale, north of Aberdeen, there is a potential where there's going to be some significant rainfall, additional uplift, and that could mean some large hail again toward Oaks, Ashley, and even Rutland, Lisbon. Watch out for that. Frederick, Britain, currently not in any warnings or watches, but just be aware that these storms could be coming down that area. Let's see. Ryan, look at the comments here. Uh, Park River Volunteer Fire Department going for severe weather. Yep, lots of severe weather watching for the volunteer firefighters and paramedics, EMTs, etc. Always good to have the first responders out keeping an eye in the sky and watching out for everybody in the communities to see what's happening and report back to the National Weather Service. It's always fantastic to have the eyewitness reports on the ground. So everybody watching right now, in case you have some clouds on the horizon, you see some great weather activity off in the distance or right above you, perhaps. Do it safely, but you can always take some photos, video, upload it in the Hutch's Weather app and at hutchesweather.com. Submit your photos, submit your video. We'd love to see it, share it, and we can check it out. And in fact, let's head over to the hutchesweather.com app. And yesterday I had a couple photos uploaded. And look at that, the moon from the 22nd, and bird photo, and some fantastic thunderstorm photos from the 20th. Beautiful photos, and checking out the moon again near Fargo, Moorhead, and even on the 17th. And then last time we were doing some severe weather coverage on the 17th there. Lots of hail reports coming in throughout the area. So again, hutchesweather.com, right here at the top, viewer picks. You can just click that and submit your picks right there, and video as well. We'd love to see and hear what you have going on right at your doorstep. Let's take a look at the UND webcam for just a second. All right, everybody. Again, Mark Kidder in for Hutch Johnson. He is still on vacation and loving life in Norway, and wish that I was there with him. But happy to be here with you, tracking the severe weather coverage and tracking these strong storms. So we had a couple comments. Let's go back to the comments again. Fort Ransom State Park, just some rain showers at the moment. Excuse me. You can expect just some light showers, maybe a downpour at the moment. Like I said, these storms continue moving off to the east southeast. Stronger activity taking a lot of the energy with the storm south of Jamestown between Oaks and Strasburg. And that will be a lot of development coming up here in the next hour to 2 hours. So we'll keep an eye on that. Some more activity now developing to the back of the primary line here, to the west of it, between Cooperstown and Wimbledon. So watch out for some showers there, maybe some developing thunderstorms. Again, this severe thunderstorm continuing to the east northeast, passing over Michigan and Petersburg and headed toward Fordville at the moment. Gilby on the doorstep as well. This is weekend, and so Niagara, you're getting a heavy rainfall, dose of rain, maybe some small hail with that, and that continues off to the east northeast at around 36 miles per hour. For the Icelandic State Park, nothing happening right now. Just thinking and wishing that you're over in Norway, perhaps, or just happy to be where you are. That is what we're looking at for those areas. And even in Park River, nothing happening up in your neck of the woods at the moment. There you go. There's a quick look. That severe thunderstorm watch does remain in effect until 1 a.m. And so there is a possibility that some activity will develop, but not at the moment. All right, let's see. Near Wishick, we have a storm report. Let's zoom in on that. From one of the North Dakota Agriculture Weather Network, the Endon Mesonet, 5 miles to the west of Wishick, 77-mile-per-hour wind gust with this storm. So again, as we were talking, this hail core, considerable wind damage, and potentially over 1-inch sized, almost 2-inch sized diameter hail. And just be careful. All right. Of course, Hutch's Weather app available on your phone, on your tablet. So please make sure you download that and track the storms when you're not able to access Facebook. You're on the road or something. Do it safely, but stay up to date. All right. We are looking at these storms continuing to the east southeast. And again, there it popped up for just a second. There's Fort Ransom, just on the outskirts of the storm's reign at the moment. But again, Litchfield, Marion, Montpelier, some rain, thunderstorms. Dickey in the stronger return area, stronger thunderstorm moving through Judd, hail core moving in your area. Edgeley, Berlin, Lemoore on the doorstep. Fredonia, Column, as we're tracking these storms, Lair, and Wishick right underneath all of the text, but just look at the returns that are right over the top of Wishick for this scan. Lots of purples and even the deep purples in there, which indicate some stronger intensity. Again, I'll zoom out. We can take a wider look. I'll put it in motion for a second. All right, Candy's asking about Buffalo, North Dakota, just outside Tower City. Right now, some rain showers and not even any lightning showing up. But let's put the lightning back on. There were a few strikes just outside Tower City. We'll put it back in motion for you. Zoom in a little bit more. Valley City on the left side of your screen, Tower City right in the center, and Buffalo right there. Getting some moderate rainfall. And no lightning strikes even recorded on this loop. Just a couple that were outside Tower City to the north side and around Tower City. Castleton seeing a heavier shower at the moment, just at the south of town. And since Fargo, Moorhead, Harwood, Horace, Glendon, Sabin on the edge of the severe thunderstorm watch box officially in effect until 1 a.m. Central Time. Some showers moving in for you. Right now, the strongest areas of concern right here moving in on Edgeley, eventually headed toward Rutland, Oaks, Forbes, Venturia. Lisbon could get some showers, but then moving off into South Dakota later. And again, watching this severe thunderstorm that has now gone non-severe to the northwest of Eureka, South Dakota. But again, that is moving into in the area where these strong storms are feeding off of. And we could see some merging, some additional genesis, and creating larger line of thunderstorms. So we'll see what happens when the different areas converge. And let's go over here, taking a look at just the watches and warnings, zooming way out. Strong storm system moving through the area. This severe thunderstorm watch, again, 1 a.m. Central Time. In South Dakota, this thunderstorm watch till 11 p.m. tonight Central Time. And then farther to the south, another severe thunderstorm watch until 11 p.m. Central Time. And the smaller polygons in the middle of each of those bigger boxes are the severe thunderstorm warnings. The Storm Prediction Center with the convective outlook for today, getting it pretty much right on where all of those storms were developing and have continued to develop. For tomorrow, the marginal risk shifts off to the east. Just a general risk, that's the light green there, of some severe thunderstorm, just general thunderstorm activity. The severe weather moving off to the east, and then again, potentially a couple thunderstorms as we go into day 3, which would be Wednesday at this rate. All right, will Fargo get a storm at the moment? Not really. Just some rain on the doorstep for the Fargo Metro. Here's an overall look at the surface analysis. Low pressure centered near Winnipeg, and a warm front draped across the Red River all the way down toward Minneapolis. And then we have the nearly stationary cold front to the east of Bismarck. That's on the edge of the severe thunderstorm watch box, and that's why this severe thunderstorm watch goes until 1 a.m., because the convergence line is still moving off to the east, but pretty slow. If you recall, the storms up in the northern portion moving around 35 miles per hour, yet these storms to the south are moving to the south at around 25 miles per hour. So again, that's something that we're going to continue to watch throughout the evening hours. Let's see. Yeah, UND camera showing some lightning. Not much, though. It is still a ways off, and we'll switch back over to that in just a second. I want to pull up the current temperatures for you just to get an idea what we're working with here. Rain, cooled air in Jamestown, 73. Still 81 in Fargo and Grand Forks. Cooler air off to the east of Minnesota. Let's see, 60. What do we got here? Zooming in, 68 in Bemidji and Park Rapids, 72. Brainerd, 72. 73 in Detroit Lakes. All right, Jamestown again, 73, rain cooled. Valley City at 75, Cooperstown 75, Carrington rain cooled, 70 degrees. 82 back in Bismarck, where it did not rain a single drop. More so 70s and a few other smattered various temperatures as the storm system moves through. Let's look at the dew points. Look at that moisture, 70-degree dew points at Jamestown and Devil's Lake. Lots of soup for the atmosphere to work with, and a little bit less when you get to the Red River Valley. 64-degree dew points there. But look at the dry air in Bismarck. 82 officially for the temperature, but 43 degrees in that very cool dry air behind the cold front, and that is ushering in the wind as well, which we talked about for the forecast coming up tomorrow. Look at some cloud top action, see what's happening here. We can get the measurement of some of these thunderstorms. Around 16,000 feet, almost 17,000 feet there. Same thing in the storms down to the south here. So nothing terribly over the top impressive, but also something to watch. Here's our potential for severe hail. And as this storm continues off to the east northeast and looks to be turning a little bit, so Grand Forks, keep an eye out to the west and watch out for that. Smaller area of hail to the east of Mackville and to the west of Northwood, south of Larimore. As we go down to the south, these storms, some more large hail possible, and a brand new thunderstorm warning, severe thunderstorm warning for Ellendale, Oaks, Lemoore, Edgeley, Lemoore, Verona, Fullerton, Ludden, Lemoore City, Maricourt City, Grand Rapids, Monango, Berlin, Guelph, Glover, and Maricourt. That is in effect until 10:15 p.m. Central Time tonight. Winds around 70 miles per hour, 1 inch estimated hail, and moving to the southeast at 30 miles per hour. And as you can imagine, look at the potential for severe hail. That strong purple core there, along with the one over Wishick right now, still estimating almost 2 inch sized hail. Let's look if there's any shear. There's tons of cape available. That's what all these funky colors are. But looking a little bit closer, you see the reds and the dark blues smattered over the top here. Nothing crazy showing up over the gate to gate shear, indicating any rotation overall. Looks to be primarily the wind and hail threat. Looking at the vertically integrated liquid, as imagined with these storms, lots and lots of the integrated liquid, potential for those larger hail cores. And let's take a look at the velocity. No rain in Wahpeton. Not yet, anyway. We'll keep an eye on it throughout the night. Lightning getting more. Yeah, I would imagine that. Storms continue moving in. Thanks for keeping an eye on that there, Logan. Whoa, getting crazy. All right. Overall, mesocyclone rolling from Berlin to Edgeley, Judd, and back to Dickey. So this storm does have a little bit of general rotation with it. So not seeing, any kind of tornado vortex signature or things that we would look at on the radar as like a tornado vortex signature. And so at the moment, just a very strong thunderstorm as it continues moving off to the east southeast at around 30 miles per hour. Ashley, keep your eyes to the sky. Zealand, strong storm off to your northwest. Wishick, that storm almost through the rest of town. A slight mesocyclone located, but the radar is detecting anyway to the south of Wishick. Moving back to the north, here's that storm. And just as I had mentioned, looks to be taking a right turn, saying, Highway 2 curves here. I need to go that way. We'll put it in motion, and you can see for yourself. It was headed north, and then, no, wait a minute. Grand Forks is that way, off to the east. Appreciate everybody being here as well. Again, Mark Kidder had worked with Hutch Johnson for, since the year 2000, so you can do the math on that. And learning about severe weather, tracking weather across the northern plains, chasing storms, summer, winter, everything in between, and getting some video, putting it on the old television, and talking about radio. So those of you in and around Grand Forks may recognize my voice or remember me from being on the former Clear Channel stations up in that area. And tracking severe weather all across the Red River Valley. In fact, back in 2011, tracking numerous tornadoes from Grand Forks all the way up I-29 and Highway 75 through Grafton and Hallock, Carlstead, Newfold, and Warren, all of these towns back in 2011, tracking those. No tornadoes at the moment tonight. And again, this looks to be more of a wind and hail event. Couple more storm reports coming in. Let me pause this and get to those. 3-inch size hail reported near Tolna. Photo of a hailstorm stone by a quarter, estimated 3 inches. Again, 1.8-inch hail. We talked about that one near Hammer. Near Binford, mixture of hail from dimes to quarters, 22 hundredths of an inch of rain as well. No wind or damage to crops known. And near McHenry, 1.3 inch sized hail report. So thank you for those hail reports. Again, if you want to take some photos, you can certainly do that and send those in to us here at Hutch's Weather, hutchesweather.com. You can also download the Hutch's Weather app and share them right there on the app. You can watch in the UND webcam looking west down University Avenue across I-29, and some frequent lightning showing up as that storm is taking a right turn and heading toward Grand Forks. Right back to the radar. New severe thunderstorm warning for this storm that has just gone through Wishick, including the cities of Ashley, Blair, Forbes, Danzig, and Green Lake. Danzig should tell his mother and let him know, or let her know, about the storm. There's a music reference for you. This storm again moving to the east-southeast, 25 miles per hour, over an inch and a half sized hail. Estimated 60 mile per hour wind gusts associated with this storm. Let's track this entire line of storms as it continues moving to the east-southeast, around 25 miles per hour. Lemoore coming up in 15 minutes. Venturia around 9:20. Ashley around 9:25. As we head down to Menango, 9:29. Verona, 9:36. Fullerton around 9:37. And Long Lake seeing that around 9:57 p.m. according to the manual tracking that's watching these storms as well. Fargo off to the west toward Tower City and Buffalo seeing some showers, but no lightning reported with any of those. And here we go. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning. The National Weather Service Office of Grand Forks estimating that this storm will continue to split the towns of Grafton and Grand Forks right down the goalposts. 1-inch size hail estimated, 60 mile per hour wind. Alvarado, Manville, Oslo, Gilby, Forest River, Mackinac, and Warsaw. You can expect this storm to be headed toward your area. And again, this has a history of dropping large hail, so be very wary. There's Oslo, there's Gilby, Manville, Ardagh, Alvarado, Forest River on the edge. Minto, we were talking about you earlier. You may have the ability and the possibility to see some of that strong, not only downpour, but also hail, wind on the way. Marion, thanks for the comment. Again, Logan, thank you for watching the cameras and checking things out here as this storm continues off to the east. Inkster right on the edge. Highway 18, if you know anybody traveling on Highway 18, they're in for a downpour to the west of Gilby. Appreciate all of you. Like, share, subscribe. Would love for you to continue to grow Hutch's Weather and help Hutch reach even more people throughout the day with especially updates like this with these strong storms headed toward the area. If you know anybody affected or in the affected area, let them know. Tell them to download the Hutch's Weather app and stay up to date, or send them this live stream as long as we're doing it here and keeping everybody up to date. There you go, Emirado. Chance of some showers on the way. Thunderstorms moving through Northwood, just to the north. Larimore, some lightning strikes and missing out on the stronger portion of this storm. Niagara, you may have had a direct hit by the hail core in this, so if you know anybody in or around Niagara or Petersburg, have them check out the hail if there is any, if they can see any, and of course do things safely, because that's what we're all about here at Hutch's Weather. Again, the severe thunderstorm watch continues until 1 a.m. Central Time. And those storms continue moving off to the east-northeast, around 25 to 35 miles per hour. putting it in motion for you once again. Let me turn off the lightning so you can see the storms a little better, especially on phone or tablet screen. All right. Tamika, thanks for joining us here at Crookston. There is a potential for some showers and thunderstorms, maybe a little bit of embedded hail yet throughout the evening as we're tracking this overall line of storms. The storms that are west of Grand Forks are taking a slightly easterly track that used to be easterly. There we go. It's not Easter quite yet. Again, these storms, as we take a look between Grand Forks, Crookston, Erskine, Red Lake Falls, those showers and thunderstorms are moving again to the east northeast, but they have had a slightly right turn toward them. And so we're watching them. We're watching them closely. Hopefully, you download the Hutch's Weather app. And if I'm not showing exactly what you want to see at this second, you can track it there while you're watching this in the background. But those storms moving off to the east, and there is a potential for Crookston to get some showers, thunderstorms. Even in the severe thunderstorm watch, the conditions are favorable for the development of severe thunderstorms in and around the watch area. And there is Mentor, Erskine, zooming in even closer. Again, right now, nothing in the Crookston area. The closest right over here to the west of Thompson, Grand Forks, north of Northwood, Larimore, and west of Manville. But this storm just on the doorsteps of Gilby, showing a lot of strength here in the hail core, just off of Highway 18, south of Inkster, and east of Petersburg. Zooming back out. Again, this storm has a potential and the history of dropping 3-inch diameter hail just to the northwest of Mackville. 3.3-inch diameter hail and 3-inch hail right there. And golf ball sized hail, a 1.8-inch report just to the north of those reports. Again, we're talking about Hammer, Tolna, were affected by those. 1-inch hail near Binford, and 1.3-inch hail near McHenry. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue, and no storm reports turned into the Weather Service yet from these storms, but you can see the bright purples and even deep purples showing up. Yeah, deep purples. No smoke on the water tonight, just some rain and hail popping up with these storms. Potentially 2-inch size hail as it's now past Wishick on the way to Ashley, and these storms continuing to move to the east-southeast at around 25 miles per hour. Zealand about to get more storm action. Edgeley getting in on the heavy rain and some storms there. Lemoore, hail core headed toward you as you are in a severe thunderstorm warning. Same thing with Verona as these storms continue. Moving on in. All right. Let's see. Warroad, Minnesota. Kathy, you're a little bit on the northerly track of these storms, but as we look a little bit farther to the north here, up toward Warroad, Roseau, you're in the severe thunderstorm watch officially, but right now, maybe a shower. Greenbush, there's Greenbush. Sharing the various cities as they're coming and going on the screen. You can see your hometown here, Newfolden, getting a shower on the doorstep there. And like I said, this storm that's currently warned looks to be splitting Grafton and Grand Forks, headed toward the indicated cities: Alvarado, Manville, Oslo, Gilby, Forest River, Mackinac, and Warsaw. Again, zooming in on this storm right on the doorstep of Gilby. Hey, Tamika, thank you for watching. Appreciate that. And watching the storms again, continuing throughout the rest of this evening here. All right, Grand Forks, how much rain? The reports that I've seen, a quick 0.2 of an inch, maybe up to half an inch of rainfall. Grand Forks may end up, and watch as I draw right here. They talk about Bismarck bubbles. Grand Forks may be in a little bit of a bubble where you may get a brief rain shower If this continues moving off to the east in its general direction that it has been, turning this slight right turn, Cassandra, you may get barely any rain, but as it is continuing to move into favorable atmosphere, there's a lot of moisture to work with. I'll switch over to the dew points here momentarily, but again, as we're looking at these storms, there's still around half-inch hail, so pea-sized hail estimated by the Doppler radar. The storm that is moving by Northwood, headed toward Thompson right now. So if you know some people in Thompson, have them take a look out the window right now and see some of the stormy weather off to the west. Taking a look at the UND Aerospace camera here. Of course, there's a lot of ground light activity, which helps to obscure some of the features and overall lightning and structure from the storm. But we'll turn on the lightning data here again. You can see that these storms still have a pretty good punch to them, but they have lost some of the intensity for the northern section. This section of the storm headed toward Gilby, to the south of Fordville, going to be in the area of Ardoch and Manville pretty soon. Hopefully not doing anything crazy to the golf course. Beautiful River's Edge golf course near Manville. And I'll stop it so we can do a little tracking. Again, there you go, Gilby around 9:25, so less than 10 minutes until it's the heaviest portion in your area. Ardoch 9:37, Oslo around 9:49, and Alvarado around 9:57 p.m. Logan, is it headed toward Thief River? At the moment, yes and no. I'm just kidding. Yes, it is. Overall, even though the National Weather Service office in Grand Forks has issued this polygon to generally head toward Alvarado, as we've been watching the radar loop, there is a slight right lean to these storms. And so that means that it could be tapping into a lot of the moisture and trying to feed into those dew points that are in the 70s in the area and make that slight right turn. And Thief River could definitely be in for some of that action. As we watch even these storms just to the northwest of Thief River Falls, you see how they generally move to the east. Well, the storms here are moving to the east northeast. We have an overall ridge right here, and so there is a potential Thief River Falls could be in for a little activity yet tonight. Will it be the strong, severe weather that Inkster is about to hit or have? Inkster actually might be right on the doorstep there. Just some heavy rainfall, some frequent lightning. Stay indoors or stay inside your vehicle if you can. Gilby, you may get some hail coming up here. 1.25 inches is what the National Weather Service Doppler radar is currently indicating. Non-severe thunderstorms to the south of Larimore and to the north of Northwood. Small hail, maybe pea-size estimate from the Weather Service radar, and that continues to move to the east. And so at the very least, there will be some heavy downpours, some frequent cloud-to-ground lightning, and maybe some pea-sized hail. Stronger storms currently off to the south, getting closer to Oaks. Let's look at those. Edgeley, Lemoore, Monongo in the path. Be careful for those. All right. Missy saying southeast North Dakota, lightning to the west now. Yeah, you're probably seeing a lot of lightning there. Macy just talked about Northwood. Hopefully you caught that again with the non-severe storms there. I'll pop back up in that neck of the woods here momentarily. Going to touch base on these severe thunderstorms that are about to get into the Ashley area. Fredonia on the tail end of it, but look at this, 1.5 to 2.5 inch size hail estimates from the Weather Service radar, and this severe thunderstorm for the Ashley area, Lair, Forbes, Danzig, Green Lake, in effect until 10:15 p.m. I have a feeling that the Weather Service will reevaluate that warning as the storm continues moving to the east-southeast. Same thing with the storm that is moving through Lemoore. Man, look at that hail core just to the south of Lemoore. Considerable threat tag with this, with the potential for over 1-inch sized hail, and the amount of it 70-mile-per-hour wind. We're talking Ellendale, Oaks, Lemoore, Edgeley, Lemoore, Verona, Fullerton, Ludden, Lemoore City, Maricourt City, Grand Rapids, Monongo, Berlin, Guelph, and Glover, and Maricourt in the path of this storm. Zooming in between Edgeley and Lemoore, right by Berlin. If you're in Berlin or in the area of Berlin, if you're able to, and it's not too bad outside, see if there's any hail out there. We'd love to not only see it at hutchesweather.com, but also report it to the National Weather Service, because look at that blue showing up in the middle of this hail core. Pretty decent hail core there. Not so much lightning. That's more so isolated to the storm that just went through Wishick and even by Fredonia, Edgeley. Pretty good light show. So if you're in Napoleon, you're sitting there watching this thing going, man, this is a great light show. Or Gackle, even Marion getting a little light rain shower as these storms continue to move to the east-southeast around 25 miles per hour. Putting it in motion for you so you can track the storms as they have moved from Gackle and continued toward the South Dakota border. And appreciate everybody watching. Again, this is Hutch's Weather. I'm Mark Kidder, in for Hutch Johnson, who is deployed overseas in Oslo, getting his Norwegian fill of lutefisk and lefse, I really hope. And I'm hoping he brings some back for me, at least the lefse. I don't know how good the lutefisk would be if he were to bring it back, but the lefse, I will take some lefse. Yes, strong storms continue to move. These are severe, warned by the National Weather Service, within the overall severe thunderstorm watch box, in effect until 1 a.m. Central Time for tonight. Showers moving in on the Fargo-Moorhead area. A couple drops of rain. Kindred seeing it. And guess what? Wahpeton, nothing right now. We'll keep an eye on that. Moving back up to the north by Northwood. Zooming on in. Some rain, some lightning, a little thunder. But heavy activity to the north. I'll put it in motion again so you can track the storm as it skirts Highway 15. It says, I don't want to go on Highway 15. I'm going to stay north of that. We'll stay on this as it loops a couple more times. The latest scan just came in. Again, continuing north of Northwood. Nice golf course in Northwood as well. If you ever have a chance to visit and check that golf course out. I was just checking for Annetta on here. There's a great restaurant that was open in Annetta. So if you ever have a chance, there's a shout out to the restaurant in Annetta, the little cafe. Fantastic. Severe thunderstorm warning continues. Gilby in the thick of it right now. Severe thunderstorm, over an inch-sized hail estimated by the radar, and program estimating 1-inch-sized hail. So between 1.5-inch-sized hail. Common 60-mile-per-hour wind. Alvarado, Manville, Oslo, Gilby, Forest River, Warsaw, Ardagh, Manville. Again, love the River's Edge course up there. Been a while since I've played, but used to be gorgeous, so I can't attest to what it is now. But I don't know why I'm talking golf so much. It's not like I really go golfing. I don't have time for golf. We're talking weather. Lots of lightning between Fullerton and Oaks. Jordan, thank you for that report. Logan, lightning slowing down in Grand Forks. Yeah, the storms off to the west by Amaretto. The weaker portion of that storm may get some rain, but Not even a lot of lightning associated with that. And as you look off to the northwest, the storm that is currently by Gilby, most of the lightning associated with the storm is on the northwestern portion of that storm. And so it would be a little bit occluded by all of the rain and hail currently falling across northeastern North Dakota right now. Moving in on Highway 81 between Manville and Grafton. Forest River right on the edge. Inkster, you were right on the edge of that as well. Forest River might get a heavy downpour and some frequent lightning. Inkster just getting lit up again right now. Ride the lightning, my friends, in Inkster. Look at all the lightning that is over there. In fact, let's just pause it over here and zooming in as close as I can without it being ridiculous. Over 78, now 85 lightning strikes just in and around Inkster. Oh, crazy. Having a good time here with Hutch's Weather, and I hope you are having a great time and being safe. Thank you for being along and sharing the photos and information of whenever you get a chance and from wherever you are. All right, continues again, moving to the east around 30 to 35 miles per hour. This severe thunderstorm in Grand Forks County. And now it is holding true to the east-northeast track, heading toward Oslo. So that is something to keep in mind as it continues. Remains in effect 22 miles south of Grafton, moving northeast. It's picked up a little bit, 40 miles per hour. It's cruising, $50 sized hail, 60 mile per hour wind. And you can expect some damage to your vehicles, potentially siding roofs, trees, etc. And I-29 is in the middle of this between mile marker 152 and 170. Missy asking, will the storms move toward Cogswell or is it heading more south from Oaks? Let's take a trip back south past I-94. Zoom on in. If you are in Oaks or around Oaks, it is headed to the east-southeast, pretty much right toward you. Zooming on in, there's Ludden, Foreman, Cayuga, Milner, Verona, Lemoore, Gwinner, right on the edge. You see the yellow, that's the severe thunderstorm warning right now. Cogswell on the edge, there's Ludden. Ellendale's down here, you're in the warning. Forbes on the edge of the warning. We're tracking around Ashley, about to get a lot of the hail core, Venturia in that area as well. Some heavy rainfall. Zealand finally getting out of the rain and the hail. Artists on the other side of the border, some more rain. Long Lake, you're not in the warning officially, but it is headed in your general direction. All right, look at this hail core along Highway 3. Over almost 2-inch size hail is what the Doppler radar is indicating as this whole severe thunderstorm warning continues until 10:15 p.m. Central Time. Looking at some of the more specific ping pong ball sized hail, 70 mile per hour wind. Make sure you get inside because it includes Wishick, Ashley, Lair, Forbes, Danzig, and Green Lake. Again, get inside a well built structure if you can, because it does continue for all of those areas. Moving off again to the south of Lemoore. Look at the hail core on this storm. The purples, the blues. It's ice, baby. It's getting a little crazy right up in there. So if you know some people in the path of this storm, again, there's Fullerton. Let's track this storm right here. Moving. Okay. I'll do it again. I'm sorry. The program's yelling at me. Hold on. We'll move it out around 30 miles per hour. There you go. Fullerton, Oaks, Ludden, Cogswell through the next hour or so. Erskine, sorry about that. I thought I had talked about Erskine. So let's get to that in just a second. First, we'll talk about Cogswell, because That is on our map right now. You can expect it to be getting a little bit closer. Okay. Here's Gwinner. Here's Cayuga and Foreman. Zooming in even closer. There's Cogswell. We're moving. Right on the edge of the warning. But again, Havana, be on alert. These storms continue to move to the east-southeast around 35 miles per hour. There we got an emotion. And this is detecting over 2¼ inch sized hail as it continues moving to the east-southeast. So if it continues on this track, pause it again, get the manual storm track, around 30. There you go, Cogswell, around 10:30. If it moves at its current pace, that'd be around the time and length. All right, Katie, let's look back up here toward Erskine. And again, as we continue watching these storms, some showers, thunderstorms around the Mayville radar. They'll head toward Climax and Crookston, Thompson, Erskine, including all of you, Red Lake Falls. There's Mentor. And again, these are slowly moving off to the east and northeast. Put them in motion for you. And you can track the storms. All right, a couple loops went by. All right, let's look at the UND webcam again. And this is live from atop the Aerospace Center, looking off to the west, right down University Avenue. In fact, toward the National Weather Service office in Grand Forks. Doing a great job, as they always do, tracking the storms, keeping all of us ahead of the storm, as it were. And Hutch and I are here to help to analyze and let you know what's going on, see and use all of our information and experience from the past 25 years, which is hard to say, and give you an update as to what we're seeing. But yeah, a lot of the cloud coverage you're seeing in this camera is occluding the lightning because it's on the northwestern part of it. In fact, the Grand Forks ASOS showing some lightning in the distance. Imagine that. It's right there. Cut back over to our radar imagery as we continue to track all of the storms. Missy, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us here at Hutch's Weather. And Katie, hopefully you were able to see and track the storms with us here. Non-severe storms at the moment on the southern port of Highway 2 and just to the north of Highway 200. The severe storm remains in effect, the warning that is, until 10 p.m., so over 25 minutes, as this storm, at least in the returns, looks a little less impressive than what it did not too long ago. But there's the track for you. Ardoch around 9:39, 5 minutes away. Oslo 9:52, Alvarado 10 o'clock. Warren 10:15, and Argyle around the same time, if that storm continues moving into the east-northeast track that it is currently headed. Newfoundland, you'd be in the path of that if it holds together. Thief River Falls on the edge. Again, Argyle, Viking, Minnesota, Stephen on the edge of it as well. And so, few towns in the way here. And then some redevelopment occurring over by Langdon, Edmore, Edinburgh. Can't forget about the Nakoma Pyramid. getting rained on right now. Osnabrück Mountain, few showers in the area. Hoople, Park River, you see some rain showers, embedded thunderstorms coming up as well. Even Cavalier having a couple drops of rain in the near future. Checking our friends down to the south, the severe thunderstorm warnings remain in effect. And we do have a considerable tag with destructive damage threat. 80-mile-per-hour wind max gusts for the Ashley area. And now the Weather Service has indicated that the possibility of a tornado in this. Let's take a look. Look at this return right over Ashley. There is a possibility. There's some rotation indicated by the velocity data right now on the east side of Ashley. So if you know anybody in or around Ashley, make sure you call them right now. Tell them to get to the lowest level of their home if they are able to. A safe place, interior room, get away from windows, and just make sure that they are in their safe place. If they're driving on Highway 11, have them pull off to the side in a safe place off the road. Do not stop in the overpass. Do not stop in the middle of the road. You want to be safe, so make sure you are having everybody, whether it's you or people you know, stop off to the side of the road. Put your four-way flashers on. Keep your light activated so then people can see you as best they can through the rain and hail. Again, tracking this portion of the storm, there is some rotation that's indicated in this area, so something to keep an eye on. Putting it in motion. You can definitely see the rotation as it is continuing to the south right here. As it's swirling right along, you can see a little bit of the little curly Q. We're watching for an overall comma. I'm not seeing anything too crazy in the sense of a tornado vortex signature at the moment, but the returns on this definitely showing a lot of motion away from the radar. Highlight that for you. And then right next to it, tight motion in the middle of it. That is an indicator that there is tight rotation within that storm. So that's why the National Weather Service office adding the possible tornado tag to it as they are monitoring. So anybody in Ashley, if you know someone in Ashley, uh, again, have them go to the lowest level of their house, structure, interior room as best they can, and keep an eye on the radar, Hutch's Weather, the live stream here, hutchesweather.com, the app, and we'd love for you to be safe, but also give us a report of what you're seeing in and around Ashley. Let me take a quick look here. Jeff is asking about the storms holding together for Hackensack over here in Minnesota. Oops, too far to the north. Hold up. Wait a minute. Right now, not even in the severe thunderstorm watch. So, if anything, tonight, possibility of maybe a shower, maybe a brief thunderstorm. But with the way that the line is showing at the moment, no. But we also have not pulled up the latest forecast models to give you an indicator as potentially what the forecast will be in the overnight hours. So, Jeff, thank you for that. Stand by. Thief River Falls may be on the very verge of some of the stronger weather as we take a look up here to the east of Grand Forks. Showers and thunderstorms moving in on the Grand Forks area. There you go. Thief River Falls now popping up with Red Lake Falls. So could see some showers, thunderstorms if the storm that is currently over Ardagh, leaving Gilby, headed toward Manville and Alvarado and Oslo. If this storm continues to lean a little bit to the right, it will head right toward Thief River Falls. This severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 10, and so another 20 minutes or so of this warning, and we will see. But there's a small little shower that's popping up west of Thief River Falls, and you can see the general motion almost directly east. And so we will keep an eye on these storms throughout the night. Grand Forks doesn't look like a big storm unless this has some massive rapid development with the moisture that is available to it. Non-severe thunderstorm headed toward the southern portion of the Grand Forks metro area. Biggest concern right now is the storms that are in southeastern North Dakota, and a new severe thunderstorm warning issued with the considerable damage tag headed into South Dakota for the storm that has now passed over the Ashley area, at least part of it. More of that severe weather, the strong core of the storm still south of Wishick and over the Ashley area. Larger severe weather potential right here over this storm north of, as the text is right over the top of it, Fullerton. Around 2-inch size hail estimated by the National Weather Service radar. Been a long day trying to get all the information across, so thank you for being here. Mark Hitter and for Hutch Johnson, who's still posting some great stuff from Oslo, Norway, and other areas in and around town. Oaks, Fullerton, be on the verge, or be on the lookout, because the storm is on the verge of heading toward you, and it is still quite intense. Ellendale, Ludden, also be on the lookout as these the line of storms continues moving to the southeast at around 35 miles per hour. All right, let's take a look at the dew point. Want to see what's going on. Okay, dew points now dropping in Grand Forks and Fargo down to 64. They were at 70 degrees not too long ago, but look at the moisture. Okay, it's updated. It's wigging out, man. All right, just a few pieces of data trying to load. Look at this at Valley City, 73-degree dew point. There's some soup right over town. Jamestown, 70-degree dew point. Oh, yeah. Lots of moisture in the atmosphere. Let's zoom in a little bit. 70-degree dew point, Carrington. Hannaford, 72-degree dew point. But look at the dry air over western North Dakota. Dew points in the 40s and even a few 50s, but super dry air over Miles City, Montana, a 37-degree dew point. You see that sharp cutoff between the greens and the grays and browns? Look at the surface analysis. There it is, warm front moving on through, and that cold/stationary front. The boundary still slowly pushing off to the east, and that is where the wind change is. You see the wind out of the north feeding these storms as they push off to, again, the east-southeast, and still feeding into that moisture train here. But then all the wind coming in behind it, and this cold front, high pressure, bringing in some cooler, drier air. Even though tomorrow still high around 86, the wind gusting estimated 35 miles per hour throughout the day. Look at the severe hail possibility. Here again, that hail core continues to show up, and the storm headed right for Oslo and just went through Gilby. Manville, you might be on the edge of it, so there's a possibility you won't have any severe hail there. The storm's off to the south. Look at the deep purple showing up here with the potential for a 1.25-inch sized hail, over 2-inch sized hail as well. We were looking at Ashley and the potential for tornadic activity. It is indicated possible tornadic activity. Not saying that there is a warning at the moment, but the whites and reds in the background here, that's what we call the CAPE, so the available energy within the atmosphere. And then as we're looking at the blues and the oranges right here, that is our gate to gate shear. So again, the potential, looking at this area of severe weather, potential tornadic activity. Okay, let's look at the velocity data. Still showing the away, excuse me, away from the radar, toward the radar. We're getting a mixture. These pixels are right next to each other, and so you can see the possibility of some tight rotation. Again, not saying that there's a tornado right there. And you're saying, Kidder, how does that look compared to these other areas like this? Well, these are broad areas of rotation, so there's more of a mesocyclone occurring within the thunderstorm overall rotation. But near Ashley, there's a stronger indicators with the bright greens and light blues there, and the darker red colors showing up. That is showing more of a tight knit rotation where there is a potential for those spin ups and could indicate again funnels or even tornadoes. So again, a very slight chance, but there's still that chance. Looking at our Doppler. Okay, we just got a storm report in from Ashley Mesonet, 61-mile-per-hour wind gust. That would be from one of the automated surface observation stations as the storm continues to move east-southeast. Excuse me. It's been a long day, and I hope y'all are doing well and being safe. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, please. Love to hear where you are in the comments. What's going on in your neighborhood? If you have any storm reports, hutchesweather.com. Feel free to share those storm reports. If you have any photos, video, you can certainly upload it at hutchesweather.com. All right, going back, looking at a couple things here, tracking the storms. Yeah, this storm continues to move east northeast. The warning box is a little bit smaller. Grand Forks, southern part of town, south of Highway 2, Gateway Drive. Chance of some downpours, some rain. Thompson, you get a downpour. Crookston might get some downpours here in the next half an hour or so. But the severe thunderstorm mostly off to the north, headed toward Oslo on the doorstep now. Warren, and again, Thief River Falls, you may be on the edge of that here in the next hour or so, depending on the speed. Some redevelopment to the north near Langdon and Cavalier. This storm has been intensifying right over Milton. I don't know if he has his stapler back yet, but Milton is listening to the radio at a reasonable listening volume. Or Hutch's Weather. Osnabrück right outside, and Mountain. Shout out to Mountain. And of course the Nakoma Pyramid. There it is, nice and blurry. No rain for you. Edinburgh, getting a couple showers right there as well. Edmore, Adams, shower. Park River, chance of a shower. And here's the storm that's headed toward Oslo once again. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for another 12 or so minutes. Lightning, heavy downpours, some inch and a quarter sized hail estimated by the radar. Manville getting some heavy rain, and Alvarado, watch out for that hail core coming in as well. Whew. Yeah, yes. Pardon me. Excuse me. Oaks, there it is on your doorstep. Still estimating over 2-inch sized hail. Monongo, right on Highway 281, strong returns showing that hail core in your area. And Ellendale, be prepared for all of that. All right, Ashley's still watching this as there is the potential for some strong damage moving to the southeast. The tag for a potential tornado has been removed, and so National Weather Service verifying what we were just talking about some potential tight rotation, but not enough where at least the radar or ground reports are indicating any tornadic activity. Okay, so a few thunderstorms there. National Weather Service and Storm Prediction Center trimming the severe thunderstorm watch back a little bit. A few of these counties have been removed on the western edge of the watch box, and they're very confident that line from Cavalier to Judd and back to Mobridge is the primary threat for some more initiation. There is a little bit popping up near Hannaford, and that will be moving to the east as well. So watch out for some showers, maybe some embedded thunder. Grand Forks, as promised, Thompson getting a rain shower, thunderstorm moving in, and the very southern edge of Grand Forks getting in on the rain showers. Now, thunderstorm moving into town there as well. And let's look at the UND Aerospace. Nice bolt of lightning right when we switch to it. Always love when that happens. Mostly cloudy sky in Grand Forks and the wind of the south at 10 miles per hour. Lightning officially observed and 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Dew point is about 65 at the moment. Relative humidity 62%. And the barometric pressure at 29.86 inches of mercury. Lightning distant to the southwest and west. Current look out the window in Grand Forks as we head back over to our radar, and you can see parts of it of what we were looking for. The very northern edge of the storm is what was producing that lightning, as the storm to the north in Manville mostly out of the view of the webcam on top of Ryan Hall. But this severe thunderstorm warning continues for another 7 minutes. We'll see what the Weather Service does as they're continuing to monitor that storm, as well as many other storms off to the south. Got another storm report here that Wishick storm, 77 mile per hour wind earlier, and 61 mile per hour wind gust off the weather station near Ashley around 20 minutes ago. Again, severe weather storm coverage on Hutch's Weather. Mark Kidder in the forecast office of the Beer Blues and BS set, at least from my location. Podcast host, former radio DJ, television guy back in the day as well. Hutch and I worked together since 2000, doing a bunch of weather information, learning, sharing it with fine folks like you, and trying to have a good time doing it, keeping people safe. So thank you for being here throughout the evening. While this is going on, let's take a look at the forecast for tomorrow. In Fargo, around 86, mostly sunny. That wind will increase, and it's still warm. Wind gusting 25 to 35 miles per hour. Average high officially now under 80 degrees as the sun comes up at around 6:38 Central Time, losing 2-ish minutes of sunlight per day as we march toward the winter solstice in December, and when we can finally start gaining more sunlight. As for the overall forecast, here's a look at the extended forecast. Again, windy the next couple days in the Red River Valley and across most of North Dakota. And then by Friday night, chances of showers and thunderstorms from Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and into Monday. Not a complete washout every single day, but chances are there. Pretty good chance Friday night. And picking up with the wind again. Same thing with Monday. Could get windy as well. Here's your extended outlook from Hutch's Weather. Lots of lightning with these storms as they approach the North Dakota South Dakota border and Oaks. You can be sure that there's some large hail with this and some strong wind moving in on Ellendale and Oaks. Fullerton seeing a lot of the action right now. In fact, if you're in or around Fullerton, you may be able to see a lot of the strong rain, frequent lightning, and potentially some hail. It looks to be some large hail with this storm as it continues moving to the south. Hey there, Sean. Thanks for joining. Good to hear from you. Hope you're doing well up in El Forco Grande. Shout out there and enjoying some hopefully good times watching the lightning on the distance and getting a few drops of rain. The shout out to Grand Forks. Yeah, there you go. Zooming on in once again. Thompson, nice rain shower moving through, and again, the southern portions of the greater Grand Forks metro area. Even some rain in Fisher. Crookston seeing a few raindrops as well as it continues. Now, Logan, looks like the lightning is both off to the north and off to the south in Grand Forks, at least according to the webcam at the UND Aerospace Center. But more storms forming off by Michigan and Edmore, Devil's Lake, Brockett getting a rain shower, Lakota as well. There's some good horse barrel racing that happens up in the Brockett area, Lakota, Fordville. I'm going to put on the other radar product we have, getting the national imagery, and you can see behind this line of storms, not a whole lot going on, and that'll be okay. It is going to be windy the next couple days, though, so be prepared for strong wind gusts over 35 miles per hour at times. All right. We continue tracking storms. Hutch's Weather Mark Kidder here with you as Hutch is currently on vacation, enjoying a little time off, a little R&R in Oslo and in other areas of Norway, not just hanging out in Oslo, Norway. Speaking of Oslo, right in the middle of it, seeing some strong thunderstorm activity moving over the top of Oslo. Maybe some large hail in there, up to an inch and a quarter in size. 2 minutes, and we will see what the National Weather Service office in Grand Forks does with this storm. It appears to have weakened considerably from its former self when it was near Michigan and Lakota, putting down 1 to 3 inch sized hail off to the west. So 1 minute away. Your 1 minute warning for an update. Stand by. Thank you for being here. Appreciate the 19 of you who are left watching all of this happen as we continue through the rest of our Monday night. And it's aside from the 3+ hours of storm coverage that I had going on 5 days ago or so, it's been quite some time since I've been able to do this. So I appreciate you being here with me for the coverage and being able to continue tracking these storms, keeping you aware of what's going on. And of course, big thanks to Hutch for the opportunity to allow me to take the reins here and keep everybody informed as best I can throughout our evening hours here together on a Monday night. Look at this, 7 seconds away, and this is likely going to expire. Grand Forks thunderstorm activity moving on in, and there it goes. Here you go. Just a thunderstorm now. Josh, magically missing Fargo again. Yep. Shaking your head. Yes, sir. At least right now. There was a rain shower. I mean, your car is probably dirty now because you're going to have to wash it tomorrow. Or maybe you didn't wash it today and that's why it didn't rain. So, Josh, is it because of you? I'm not saying. I'm just wondering. I'm just asking. Okay. We can have a conversation about this. But there is still a chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms moving off to the east as the cold front / stationary front is set up right now. I should say west of Devil's Lake and Jamestown, stretching down toward Mobridge, and that is the initiating factor here. You can see there's still a chance. Just saying there's a chance. These scattered showers moving through. Is it going to be a downpour or hail like Oaks is seeing? No, I am not seeing it right now. And Josh, I don't think so, but you probably will have to wash your car tomorrow, and maybe that'll really bring the rain chances in by Friday and Friday night. So we'll keep an eye on that as we continue watching the storms. All right. So the primary threat is now to the south. Most likely. Thanks for being along for it there, Josh, and I appreciate it. So yeah, wash your car tomorrow. We'll get some more rain on the way. Lisbon, Oaks, Ellendale, Lemoore, Britain, South Dakota. These storms continue marching to the east-southeast at around 35 miles per hour motion anyway, and 70 mile per hour wind gust estimated with these storms. Some areas estimating 60, but the potential of 2.5-inch sized hail, 1.25-inch sized hail, and they are continuing. Here's Forbes and Frederick in the path of the storm in the next hour or so. And Fullerton, there it is. Track this. Oaks! Did you know you're in the path? Well, you're in the path of the storm. So there it is. Leola, South Dakota, severe thunderstorm warning for you yet for a while. One can want some loud thunder boomers. Yeah, there's probably some really good action happening down here. Look at the lightning. In fact, just over the area of this massive storm complex, 635 lightning strikes currently registered. So that would be in the past 5 minutes. What I have it set to. So Josh, if you want to head out on the interstate, bet you can make it to Oaks or head to the south here in Ellendale and Ludden, and you can be right in the middle of all of the thunder boomers that you want. Logan, Thief River Falls, yeah, you're looking pretty good. Oh no, severe thunderstorm warning now in effect. Hold on. The National Weather Service office in Grand Forks has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for areas of Marshall County in northwestern Minnesota, in effect until 11 p.m. Central Time. At 10:02 p.m. Central Time, a severe thunderstorm was located over Oslo, or around 20 miles north of Grand Forks, moving east at 35 miles per hour. 60 mile per hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail. The radar indicated expect hail damage to vehicles, wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Warren, Argyle, Alvarado, Oslo, Viking, Radium, and March are in the path of this storm. Looking at Thief River Falls, Logan, there it is on the map, right on Highway 32. And this storm is slowly turning to the right, which means that in the next hour and a half to 2 hours, you will see some thunderstorm activity in your area. Potential for 1-inch hail. Currently, it has weakened a lot, like I said, compared to the 3-inch hail right here. 3-inch hail that storm produced. And as you can see, the arcing motion very crude arc motion, but you can see that it was arcing, at least in that area, as it continues moving to the east. More activity by Edmore, Lakota, and Brockett right now, seeing a thunderstorm roll through. Even some hail showing up on the radar there. And when I say it's showing up, the Doppler is indicating that there is the possibility for 3/4 sized inch hail, 3/4 inch hail. All right. Grand Forks, let the thunder roll. As long as you're in the southern part of town. No lightning indicated in the northern or downtown portions of Grand Forks, East Grand Forks, but a nice shower. Oh, there was a lightning strike just to the north of town, north of East Grand Forks. There you go. Okay, tracking the storms again. As you can see, there is some redevelopment there to the west of Grand Forks, east of Langdon. Tracking all this way. All right, good light show over here. Yeah, I agree there, Josh. Yes, stay home when it's dark, but not too bad. You know, you track it on the Hutch's Weather app. You get pretty close. You see a sweet light show. Maybe set up a time lapse. Then submit it to hutchesweather.com or the Hutch's Weather app. And then you get some kudos right here on the broadcast. I mean, I'm not saying, but I'm saying, you know. Logan, originally from New York, watching storms. They worry you a bit. I get it. There is a real thing, storm anxiety on the horizon, the inability to control something that is massive and millions of cubic tons of water above us at any given moment. I'm not helping the anxiety, I suppose. We will be okay. We will survive. We can rebuild. Lowest level of the home, interior room. Just be safe. Watch it on the Hutch's Weather app, and you are good to go, my friend. Oaks, still looking at some severe hail there. 2 3/4 inch size hail. Could be some embedded 3-inch hail falling with that. No reports of any hail in this area. Missy, glad that you are still with us with that nice lightning show happening in the Cogswell area. So shout out to Cogswell. And if you get any photos or video, you can upload them at hutchesweather.com or through the Hutch's Weather app, conveniently on your smartphone. So make sure you download that, check it out, take it with you, get all the latest alerts anywhere, anytime, right there at your fingertips. Look at the activity popping up to the southeast of Walhalla. Cavalier getting a strong storm moving through. Oh, yeah, mainly tornadoes. I hear you, Logan. The tornadoes are worrisome, especially this time of day. Very hard to track with the visual observations because, well, it's dark, right? Less light. You got to watch between the lightning strikes, so you're hoping that you can see what's going on, plus any trees, buildings, anything else. But right now, the main threat, heavy rain, some frequent cloud to ground lightning, and wind gusts 60 to 70 mile per hour, and then some hail. Some hail right there is the potential. And this storm outside Cavalier, even Nietzsche getting a rain shower this evening. Pembina, if you're crossing the border, you're getting your vehicle searched, you're getting rained on, unless you're underneath the awning or something like that. Could have a couple strikes of lightning in the area as well. Milton, he's mad about his stapler still. Look at all the lightning strikes just outside of town. Around 40 lightning strikes here just in the past 5 to 10 minutes. Mountain, no Mississippi Queens for you tonight, but all cowbell. Maybe a little hail. Hensel seeing some lightning strikes. Getting delirious when you make all of those old school classic rock references like you would hear on KJ 108. Cavalier, there you go. Some stronger storms. The returns rolling through. We're down to, what we got, 17 people on the stream here. So now it's getting a little western, if you will. A little wild, wild west. Hamilton on the verge of some storms. we're having some fun. At least I am. Oh, we're back up to 24. All right. Let's see. Aaron just got to Forbes. Strong wind, rain, lots of lightning. Really appreciate the update here. Let's zoom back in, get right on into the storm. There's Forbes. You can see the strong part of the storm, the Doppler showing the heavy returns, likely a hail core just to the northeast of town. So Forbes looks like you will be hopefully spared of that large hail. I'll put it in motion. Again, thanks for the report as it comes into Forbes. As you see the northern migration of that hail core, as it's coming in, moving southeast, it's grabbing that warm, moist air coming in from the south, turning that up as it goes elevated, convective activity. The hail core slowly moving off to the northeast, splitting Forbes and Ellendale, so both towns lucky there. Even the strong areas returning here on the radar, the hail core northeast of Ellendale. So hopefully no damage in or around Forbes, Ellendale, or anywhere else here south of Fullerton, Ludden. Oaks, you're still on the doorstep. We've been talking about this coming into Oaks for, I don't know, half an hour now. And this thing is just taking its time, which we need the rain. We don't need the hail. In fact, that brings me to the thought we should pull up the drought monitor while we are on here. Connecting the chat. 20 of you, thank you for being here. Download Hutch's Weather app again. Like, share, subscribe. Mark Kidder here. I have significantly less hair than Hutch does, and that's how you can tell us apart. Similar mannerisms and absolute love of weather and tracking it, keeping you safe. So thank you for being here and part of Hutch's Weather. I talked about the drought monitor. Let's go down here. Click on this. Bam. This was updated this past Thursday, and there are still areas of extreme drought north of Fargo, and then on the Montana North Dakota border, areas of severe drought in and around Fargo as well, and western North Dakota. Some abnormal dryness and moderate dryness out there, and we do need more of that rain to roll in and wet the ground, help us out. We need some more. Okay. Satellite radar, it's slow rolling. That's right, Missy, it's slow rolling. Loading the satellite data here. Stand by for the satellite as it officially loads some of the satellite near infrared. It's coming. Maybe if I put it into the loop. Loop it. Lupe. Get that. Don't you love all of the technology we have? And we still have to rely on the speed of the internet and being able to pull some of these massive files. All right, Lacey, thank you for the update. Finally, the rain in Oaks, lightning, thunder, hoping for no massive hail, which again, still indicating potentially 2 inches of hail. And all right, let's pull one of the other products. It doesn't want to pull the near infrared product, so it is loading a different satellite imagery. And so this might get a little crazy momentarily with all the colors and all of the things. We're working. I'm working here. I'm working here. There you go. Bam. Convective activity. Look at it. The smattering of green. It reminds me of 90s Nickelodeon television right here. All of the slime getting crazy. Visibility. Let's take a look at some visibility here. Of course, lower visibilities around the areas of the thunderstorms, rainfall rates right now. Some heavier rainfall rates in those areas. What do we got for some rainfall rates? Yeah, 1.5 to 3 inches of rain per hour. certain areas of those storms now moving into Oaks. Zoom in. All right, look at this. Potentially 5 inches of rainfall per hour. Now, if that sets up stationary, we're going to end up with some flooding situations, which of course we don't need. But rainfall estimate from the Doppler radar around 1.2, 1.25 inches of rain, almost getting close to 2 inches of rain estimated over in this area here, north of Ashley. And these are just estimates from the Doppler radar. And so some of this could be skewed by those hail cores because it's detecting those constantly and it's thinking about it as it going on. It's like this is in this area, there's a lot of rain, but it's those higher levels of reflectivity returns in those areas. And so that's why some of the returns aren't completely true on the ground. So if you have the Hutch's Weather rain gauge available now at hutchesweather.com, you can take a photo, confirm or deny what is happening out in these areas as well. Go back to the surface analysis, looking at the warm front, again, still moving through. The wind picking up from the northwestern parts of North Dakota into southern Canada, so be prepared for all of that. Convective outlook again today in this area, as we have seen the severe weather develop. Tomorrow moves off to the east with only a marginal risk for severe weather, central and eastern Minnesota. Let's go back to the Doppler. Northern storms right here. Strong storm moving in the area of Mountain, Hansel, Crystal, St. Thomas. Be aware of this strong storm. Some frequent cloud to ground lightning. Cavalier seeing a lot of lightning this hour. And here are these storms now moving out of Grand Forks. About 82 droplets of rain probably across Grand Forks, and dampening the potatoes and beet smell just a little bit. Thief River Falls, maybe the next hour, see some rain from these storms moving in. This storm still doesn't look too impressive on the radar. Alvarado, Warren, Viking in the path, but is still severe, according to the National Weather Service office, with 60-mile-per-hour wind, a potential for 1-inch sized hail. As that continues moving to the east at around 35 miles per hour. Red Lake Falls on the way for some rain. Look at that. Crookston seeing some rain drizzle drops. Following Highway 2. Mentor, potential for some drizzle moving in as well. Maybe some rain showers throughout the rest of the night here. There you go. As you take the Fisher turn. It's a little wet. Watch out. Highway 2. And there's what's happening in the Northern Valley. Southern Valley, again, this is where we're watching Oaks. Just a bit outside. Yep, that's good. Everybody in Oaks missing out on the main hail core. Moving off, because look at that. 2.25-inch size hail is what the Doppler radar indicating that just moved to the west and southwest of town. Now, as we are looping it, look at that, just skirting the outskirts of town. Skirting skirts. Yes. Indubitably. Lacey, hopefully you are able to be safe, but if you see any of those hailstones, you can sure let us know here in the chat if you're still in there. And down to 14 people watching, thanks to the true believers in the storm coverage, or it has now gone past your area, so appreciate that. Probably going to watch this here a little bit longer as this storm warning, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 11:15. The storm moving at 24 miles per hour, so it is creeping right along. But that hail core just on the outside of town. Southern portion of Oaks. Look how close that is. Yeah, Logan, Thief River, don't think anything too crazy is going to hit, at least as of right now. You can see the storms right here at Thief River. The severe portion to the north, in fact, with how this is weakened, the radar only seeing 3/4 inch size hail estimates. There's a potential this warning may be canceled before it is allowed to expire. But it's rain, thunderstorms, even these storms back toward Edmore, putting it in the loop. Those are moving east, northeast, 30 miles per hour or so, and they'll continue being isolated in nature. The stronger storms going right across I-29, Cavalier, Nietzsche, Pembina, heading into Canada, and Halleck. Hopefully they have their passport or passport ID card so they can get into Canada. And the rest of the storms continue. All right, so unless there are any further questions, we've tracked these out of North Dakota. Oh, there is a now storm report. Hold on. Hold the phone. Just outside of March, 62 mile per hour wind gusts. So these are just above the severe criteria. Yeah, there you go. Go start hammering. Get your Molinar and ride the lightning a little bit as well while you are hanging out outside. Just be careful while you're doing it. All right. Yeah, tracking these. New severe thunderstorm warning now issued for northern South Dakota for these storms until 10:45 p.m. Central Time. 60 mile per hour wind and around 1 inch sized hail. Oaks, again, you're right on the edge. Heavy thunderstorm moving through, but the stronger portion off to the south as it moves through town. All right, taking a look at the comments. New comment from Jerain. Hopefully, I'm saying your name correctly. Thanks for the comment. Ottertail Lake. At the moment, you may get a few rain showers, and that will probably be it before everything starts tuning up tomorrow for 35 plus mile per hour wind after the cold front moves through. But I call it a cool front, really, because it's still a high around 86 for Fargo Moorhead. And wind will continue Tuesday night and into Wednesday, still gusting to around 30 miles per hour for both of those. And we'll take a look. One final call. Yeah, make sure it's the rubber end. Yeah. It's a good point, Missy. Logan, you better take a little advisory over that. Help you out. So if you have any videos or photos, feel free to upload those into the Hutch's Weather app. In fact, hutchesweather.com. You can visit there as well. We'll pull that up for a second. And here's the radar, and then moving into the future radar. You can see some of it showing up on the initial radar. But again, the main cluster of storms combining and moving more toward Britain, Sisseton, and I-29 and into western Minnesota throughout the next couple hours here. And the storms up to the north. Thief River Falls, there you go. That storm looks to be weakening according to the forecast models here and even the other storms. So, are we going to get anything crazy next little bit? Not really. You know, there is still the severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. as we have been talking about throughout the rest of the earlier this evening in the severe thunderstorm watch. But with these storms now exiting into South Dakota, the sun is down officially. Of course, it's dark out. They still have a lot of energy to tap into, but they're going to continue moving east-southeast, skirting Aberdeen toward Millbank, eventually Wilmer, Minnesota, Hendricks, etc. So Fergus Falls and I-29 or I-94 to the south. Lower possibility of any rain. And look at that! As expected, no longer severe, but still a strong storm right over the top of Warren, Minnesota. Hey, John, thanks for the comment. Appreciate that. And doing what I can to help keep everything updated and forewarned of what's going on. Yeah, really appreciate that. So there you go. Severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect. Still a chance for a sporadic severe storm to pop up. But right now, that's the end of the live stream. So we're going to hang it up for the night here. Really appreciate everybody sticking with it. The 20 people watching right now, thank you for joining Hutch's Weather. I'm Mark Kidder in for Hutch Johnson, who, as I mentioned, is still overseas. He's enjoying the lutefisk and lefse in Norway. Hopefully he brings some lefse back. Just saying, Hutch. Good old-fashioned lefse. Fantastic. Other than that, more Hutch's Weather updates coming on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Please join us on all of those. Anytime, anywhere, the Hutch's Weather app right on your phone, your tablet, download it to all of the above, and make sure you stay informed and stay updated on what's happening in and around your area. So for tonight, I'm still Mark Kidder, and really appreciate all of you being here, all the comments throughout the live stream this evening. So take care, be safe, hutchesweather.com, the Hutch's Weather app, and follow, like, share, subscribe throughout all of the places. And we will talk again very soon.